Hi guys, Freaky Fishka here. Sorry about the weird angle today. We've got a weird filming setup. Our last locals, I came fourth with True Draco. I'm still playing Sprite. I'm still testing the Cyber Sprite version as my main deck. Currently, I don't have any Sprint. I know Dammer's been out. Dammer? I think it's called Dammer. The new set's been out. Not Dammer. The new set's been out for a while now. I still don't have a Sprint. It's still on its way to me. And rather than playing like a subpar Sprite build, I thought I'd actually go back and test out a deck that is nearly at full power. Obviously, True Draco, the only cards they're still missing is Diagram, More Than One, and Masterpiece. Diagram potentially won't ever come back to More Than One, and I doubt Masterpiece will come back anytime soon. So for the foreseeable future, the deck is effectively at full power. And I thought, you know what? It's a deck that I can just pick up and play at any locals I go to without any real need to think about my decision tree. So I've just been playing True Draco for the past like 2 weeks. The deck is still not good. I'm going to preface that now. I came fourth at locals out of like, I don't know, 15, 16 people. The deck's still terrible. Danny from locals, a good friend, he made the best point as there's just not enough good draw cards to make Draco good anymore. We'll talk about that and the reason why. I am also playing extra deck Draco, so I have a functional extra deck that I can, in theory, summon all of the cards from, and I did actually win a few games because of those cards in extra deck. So in terms of main deck, monsters wise, we are only playing 8, pretty standard. We're now playing the 3 Dynamite Knight. This is the norm now for anyone. This is now the best one. It's always kind of been the best one, to be fair. Just on your opponent doing anything, you just get a True Draco trap. If you don't know how True Dracos work, if your opponent activates card or effect, you can chain them as chaining 2, and then they will activate from deck or add to your hand a True Draco spell, trap, or monster, depending on which one it is. This one gets a trap, so it's the best one because it gets Apocalypse. A little bit of theory with my friend Shannon from Chichester. We're playing 3 Maiden. Beforehand, this was like the worst True Draco monster, because the monsters don't really do anything in your hand unless you have the traps. My thought process was with Shannon at the same time that if you get Maiden, Maiden gets you Dynamite, and Dynamite gets you another trap. So if you, for example, if you open Maiden and a trap and a way to summon and another True Draco monster in hand. So say you've opened Maiden, Trap, Ignis. You normal summon the Maiden with the trap still set for their turn. Maiden gets you Dynamite. You activate the trap, summon the Dynamite. Dynamite then gets you another trap after popping a card because you've tributed the trap card, which then lets you summon the Ignis or the other True Draco monster, which then gets you another pop. So the idea being that in your opponent's turn, Maiden gets you Dynamite, which then gets you a pop 2 and a +2 in a weird sort of sense. So that's why we're playing 3 Maiden. And the last 2, obviously, 2 Ignis, just because we need more names, and it does get you the spells, which get you your draw power effectively. That's it for monsters, nothing fancy, no Inspector Border, no hand traps. Spells, the 1 Diagram, it's busted. 3 Heritage, it's really nice obviously for the draw power. 3 Disciples, this is your Avarice card. For those who don't know, again, if the True Draco spells go to the grave, they can pop a spell trap on the board, so that's your spell and trap removal. Inbuilt out to mine is kind of nice. If that ever happens at your locals. Die-Fi. We're playing Die-Fi, not macro, because you want your spells and traps to go to the graveyard. So at the moment, with Tier being probably the best deck of the format, this is really, really nice to play up against them. The draw cards, 1 card of Demise, 2 Prosp. Prosp actually isn't that good in this deck. The amount of times I've hit terrible stuff off of a Prosp, Danny, you know what I'm talking about. Obviously, it shuts off your card draw for the rest of the turn, so you can't Heritage after this, and you can't Disciples draw. So Prosp really doesn't actually work in Draco. It's just therefore I need to draw the best Floodgate I can get. Duality is a lot better. In retrospect, it doesn't shut off your draw power and still lets you dig 3 cards deep to get those certain Floodgates or those True Draco monsters that you are only playing 8 of. So sometimes you do just need to see a monster. Trap cards. 3 Apocalypse. It's the best True Draco card. All the traps are the same thing. When they're sent from field to grave, you can pop a monster on the board targeting. That's really hot. This one halves attack and defense permanently by popping another True Draco card you control, so that could be another trap, another spell, or a monster. And in your opponent's main phase, it lets you tribute summon using spells and traps you control for a True Draco monster. So effectively, you can just tribute itself to get a pop. Obviously, Dynamite activates this from deck as well, which is nice. Playing Run Return, I like to call Run Return like the Call of the Haunted that just keeps coming. I rarely ever play this, to be honest. If your True Draco monsters are leaving the board, then you're probably already losing the game, unless it's via Apocalypse. So you can do things like Apocalypse Send, Return, Bring Back, and then loop it that way to half the monsters, basically infinitely. That's kind of hot. But as it is, Return is just not that useful to me half the time. Good Floodgates, 3 Rivalry. We're not playing Tikaboo. Tikaboo in True Draco is the worst Floodgate, and I'm going to tell you why. So say this is Tikaboo, and you have your True Draco monster. This is all your board state will ever be with other Floodgates. Say if they have a monster, they'll set a card, you'll punch into the True Draco, and you pass. Because of Tikaboo, all your stuff's worms, you can't actually take advantage of the fact that they can't play. And so what you're doing is you're just giving your opponent the opportunity to draw the out to the Tikaboo, either in-engine or tech card. So please, as fun as it may be, never play Tikaboo in True Draco, because you lose the ability to actually win the game. 3 Skill Drain. Monkey card's got a monkey. It's a good card. 3 Summon Limit. This is the iffy one. You can replace this with any other like Floodgate you want. Again, I don't suggest Tikaboo. When you win a die roll, this is really good because it's basically Vanity's Emptiness. Flipping X a tier player or sprite player, it's just like, oh, okay, I can't play the game anymore. You don't care about this at all. If you do have a K, you can just get rid of it as well, which is really nice. Going second, it sucks. But that's the same with all Floodgate decks most of the time. If you don't win die roll, you're going to be at a bad time anyway. Last cards in the main, 3 Solemn Strike, 3 Judgment. It does come up clutch. In one game, I resolved 3 Judgment because they had Twin Twisters, Storms, and stuff like that, and it was just like, I can't let you resolve these. So 3 Judgment is always a must. Rear Reboot is now gone, but it's still loads of back row hate in the game, especially if people are siding it. Hopefully, if you're going to a larger event, you won't play Draco, but if you are bad enough to play Draco, they won't be siding that much back row hate, because obviously the meta at the moment, we're going into like a Shizu, I can't say it, a Shizu tier support. There won't hopefully be a lot of back row stuff in the deck, unless someone's playing like Eldritch tier a Shizu. That might be a kind of hot deck. But as it is, these are the good trap cards you want to play. Extra deck, Barricade Board Blocker. It lets you get Di-Fi back from your grave, which is really nice versus tier. So that's why that's in here. Phoenix and Cerberus, just because you're probably less than likely can have like 3 monsters on board, and sometimes these can come up. Again, with True Draco, you don't normally use the extra deck. This is more just like niche stuff. The Mega Fleet, in case they are playing against Cyber Dragon. Now the stuff you can actually play in your main. 3 Volcasaurus, this is the best rank 5 that we can play, just because time is a thing. You can make this with with the Ignis or the Majesty Maidens, 2 of those. Those are the rank 5s. Because of Volcasaurus, the effect is obviously to pop, you can't attack. You can then make Gaia Charger. Gaia Charger is a rank 7. It can overlay on top of rank 6, and you can still attack. It does piercing as well, which is kind of hot. And then obviously that ultimately makes Zeus. So we're playing 2 Zeus just because you've got loads of space in your extra deck. You might as well, because you might do this like going second or something if you can manage to get it off. Pop a monster, burn them, attack over another monster, and then make a Zeus, and then wipe their board that way, while still having potentially a 1 or 2 material under the Zeus. That's really hot. We're playing another rank 5 ZW Leo Arms. I'm playing it because A, it's ulti, so it looks shiny. It makes people read it, which is always very funny. You're not using the effect. This might as well just be a rank 5 normal monster. You're using it because it's a 3k rank 5, and sometimes you just need to be able to punch over a 3k. Artifact Durandal is basically an Omni Negate. Chronomaly, this one I can't ever say. This is a monster negate, that's why you're playing it. Vampire Sheridan, this is removal. This actually won me a few games. This is rank 6, you have to make it with dynamites. And sometimes you just have to remove cards. You can steal a card as well from your opponent's graveyard as well. What I did was I just sent something to the grave and then made a Zeus after I attacked, which is kind of hot. And an M7, because sometimes it might come up. It's never really come up, I've never summoned it. One player, they can't remember what they did. They looked at my extra deck and they ripped a card out, but I can't remember how they did it. And this was the card they picked. I can't remember what deck that was though. Side deck, last little bit. 2 Sphere Mode, 1 Pank. Don't play Lava Golem. I learned that the first time I played Draco back after whiles. Obviously, you just can't normal summon for the rest of the turn. So sphere mode is better, plus the Pank. 3 Ghost Sister, you're playing a lot of Solemns, and because your deck is very Floodgatey, you can potentially go to time. And then there's nothing more fun than just dropping this on a player, going into game 3, just like, yep, you do this, I'm going to go up to 20k, which I have done. Change Your Heart, because you can steal something, then tribute it for removal. 2 Twin Twisters, just generic back row stuff. 3 Evenly, and then 3 Anti-Spell. If the rivalry isn't doing anything to your opponent because they're playing something like Sword Soul, where it's just like mono type, you can just put an Anti-Spell instead, which is kind of hot. Anyway guys, that was my very quick Draco profile. Again, I went 4th at locals playing True Draco in 2022. The deck still sucks, don't play it. Hopefully a Cyber Sprite profile coming up soon. Bye!